Hey folks, so this quick tutorial we're going to go over how to open up Photoshop, add some images, and make some modifications. Here you can see the little example image I'm going to make. Um, this is for making an avatar for your Zoom um, profile, and we're going to go over things like how to open Photoshop, put an image in, isolate the subject from the background, add layers, filters, adjustment layers, and export the image. This is just kind of a simple example. I hope you find your own stuff and assets and mix it up and experiment with software. That's the big thing on this. So let's get started. I have some files here. The image I took off my phone, a couple of other pictures, some texture there, a little kind of glowy thing there, and a image of a sticker there from my desk. We're going to take those, kind of combine them, and do something fun. So let's get Photoshop open. You can open Photoshop a lot of ways. I'm just going to search for it, open it up, let it start up. Now I like to take my images, select them all, right click and say open with Photoshop. Now it's going to bring them all up in their own tab. So here we have all those images. I'm just going to start with this one. Alright, we're going to go through this real fast. We'll go through a lot of this stuff in depth in class. But just to get you going, so the first thing I'm going to do is come over here and grab a new tool. If I go to the 1, 2, 3, 4th down, click and hold, I can do the object selection tool. It's one at the top. And then I click and drag a box over this image of myself. And we let the computer do its work, and it does a pretty good job making a little selection around me. Now you can look down here and you can see it kind of missed my arm. I'm going to come up, click and hold, and grab the quick selection tool and drag that over there to grab the rest of that arm. The rest of it I think is fine. We'll talk about refining those selections in class. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. I am going to I'm going to select an inverse. So I had selected the me. Now I'm going to select the inverse, and I'm going to clear it by going to edit and clear. Alright, let's get some other stuff in here. So I'm on my texture image. I'm going to hit Command A. Whoops. I'm on my texture image. I'm going to hit Command A, Command C to copy. It's a little different on Windows. And then go back to this image, and I'm going to hit Command V. You're going to see over here that this pasted into a new layer. Alright, so down here I'm going to click the lock icon there to unlock that, and I'm going to drag that layer behind. Now you're going to notice that it didn't actually clear that. I'm going to fix that by going up here. Once again, on this 4th tool down, click and hold. This time I'm going to select the magic wand tool, click in the white area. Oh, I need to make sure my layer is selected that I want. Click in the white area, and now do edit and clear again. You're going to see the bricks behind my head. Alright, let's get the hand in. So I'm going to go back into the hand image, zoom in here. Alright, I'm going to come grab my quick selection tool. This works pretty well. I'm going to use left bracket to make that a little smaller, and then I'm just going to click and drag across this hand. And it should grab that pretty well, as it's a graphic kind of quality image. There you go, and I'm going to hit Command C to copy. Go back to here, Command V. You're going to see that a little warning comes up. Just ignore that, hit OK, and my little hand is there. Now if I come grab this tool at the top here. You're going to see some handles here. I can click and drag and make that big or small. Okay. I also want to make my image a little smaller. So I'm going to come over here and grab this image. You're going to see since I have that tool selected, I can shrink myself down a little bit. Let's go down about like that. Put it somewhere in the middle. And alright, if we remember the image here, I have this kind of hand kind of duplicated. So let's make sure we select this layer here. And I'm going to kind of move that there. Now I'm going to select that by grabbing the second tool, which is the rectangular marquee tool. Make sure the hand layer is selected there. I'm just going to drag a box around that. I'm going to hit Command C and Command V. It's going to make another one. Now let's do that about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 5 more times. Command V, Command V, Command V, Command V. Alright, you can see over here now I have a bunch of layers. Okay, so I'm going to come down to the bottom one is where I want it. Let's grab layer 3. Actually, let's start at the top. Makes it a little easier to see. So we're going to grab our move tool. I'm going to move that layer up. Now if I hover out over the edge here, you're going to see that my little pointer turns into a little arc, and I can grab that and rotate it. There we go. And I'm just going to rotate that around like that. Let's grab layer 6, do the same thing, kind of rotate it around a little less. Just, if you're using, some stuff you found laying around your house, just play with, oops, grabbed the wrong thing there. Play with it until it starts to look like you want it to look. Remember, have some fun with it. And finally, this last one, I'll twist it a little bit that way. Alright. Okay. That's a little off there. Let's come back up and grab that one. I'm going to make it a little more even. And then that one. Okay. So these are all separate layers. Let's combine those all together so we can get us a nice thing. I'm going to make this one in the front. So I'm going to come over here to the layer panel. I'm going to find that one I want to be in the middle, in front of the other ones. I'm going to click and drag that to the top, and that's going to make that kind of up higher. Well, let's try this one. Oops. How about that one? There we go. That's what I want. Okay. So over in the layer panel, now all these layers with the hand, I'm going to click the top one and hold the shift key, click the bottom one. It's going to select all those layers. Now I'm going to right click somewhere in there. I'm going to say merge layers right here in the middle. That's going to merge those down into one layer. Now I can take these and kind of move them around as one big group. I'm going to put that right on top of my head. Let's move that there. I'm a little bit off the center. There we go. Let's put that right there. Okay. Now you'll notice picture of me has got some filters applied to it. So let's go do that. So I'm going to make sure that layer is selected. I'm going to go up here to the filter menu. Click that. Now you can go into this filter gallery right here. And that'll let you take a look at this and look at some of the filters that are available. And there's all sorts of fun stuff in there. Now remember, apply as many filters as you want. Just remember that you want to be able to still recognize you. Okay, I'm going to try another one. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to the neural filters. Now these are filters you need to download, but Photoshop lets you do it. I'm going to click the style transfer button, turn that on. And these are some interesting filters that, you know, do some cool stuff. And they take the style of the image and transfer it onto the thing. I think the one I used was down towards the bottom here somewhere. Maybe that one. Yeah, that one looks pretty good. Let's go with that one. I'm going to hit OK. Feel free to stack these things up and do all sorts of interesting stuff to them. All right. A couple other things you're going to notice. Let's look at some other ways you can manipulate these images. We can add effects to layers. So if I take this layer here, that's me. If I come down to the bottom of the panel, there's a little FX button. I can click on that and say, let's try maybe a drop shadow. Let's change the angle on that, change the distance up a little bit. Let's give ourselves a drop shadow. Okay. You know, I don't like this Niagara on my shirt, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up, grab the lasso tool, draw a box around that. And I'm going to make sure I'm on the right layer. Come up to Edit, Content Aware Fill. Let's cancel that. Let's do this a different way. Go to Edit, Fill, select Content Aware, and hit OK. We'll talk about what that does in class. You notice that took out that, kind of left me with the shirt texture on there. All right, so let's look at how other ways we can manipulate these images. So I'm going to take this these hands here, and in the layer panel up at the top we have the blending mode. So if I select my layer, come and click this button here, and I can go down through these, and once again we'll talk about what these are doing in our next lecture, but I want you to get in here and kind of play with it. So these are blending this layer with the layer below it. So I want something maybe like I don't know, maybe like that. How about that one? There we go. Now I want this also to blend into my head a little bit. So I'm going to take a, I don't know, let's get an eraser here. And I don't want it to erase hard. I want it to be a little bit softer. I'm going to make my my pointer a little bit bigger by clicking on the right bracket tool. That is just almost under the plus and the delete tool. Make that a little bit bigger. And I'm going to come up here to the flow and the opacity. I'm going to reduce those down by about half. Now I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to erase, soften that edge up. And I'm just going to kind of draw over that, soften it up, blend it into my head a little bit more. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Alright, let's take care of this brick background. I've got to do something with this. Let's start with a filter on that. So I'm going to come into, I'm going to select that layer over here, come up to the filter gallery, and let's do something to this. Now it's awfully big, so it's a big image I took on my phone. I'm going to come down to this and scale it back so we can see the whole thing. And let's find something interesting. Maybe like a halftone. Let's change the size up like that. Hit OK. There we go. Now let's put some color on that. I'm going to come down here, hit my effects key, and let's put a gradient overlay on that. Oh, that's from the last time I used it. You can change the gradients in here. You can scale them like that. You can change the blending mode. That's kind of nice. Each of these blending modes does all sorts of different stuff. So feel free to look at that. Oh, that's kind of nice. Hit OK. And now I'm going to, let's add a adjustment layer to that. Let's make that pop a little bit darker. I'm going to add brightness and contrast to that. Now I can change the brightness down a little bit. Oh, that's looking kind of nice. And there's lots of other stuff I could do that. Let's stop here and let you guys experiment with yourself. Remember, this assignment is just about playing, experimenting, getting there and doing as many things as you can do, and add as many filters as you want. Throw in images that you take on your phone or drag in from the web, pictures from wherever. Just make sure you can see your face in that, and then we'll make that your Zoom avatar. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is export this. I'm going to go up here to the File menu, go to Export As. It's going to be kind of a big file. We're going to shrink it down a little bit. So first thing you do is make sure this, where it says SVG, we're going to click on that and say JPG. We're going to scale it. This is 2316 by 3088. We're going to scale that down. Oh, let's go down to about 33%. That should be fine. We're going to hit the export button down here. It's going to give us a dialog. Make sure you name it something good. I'm going to name it Brian Avatar. All right. Let's save that on the desktop. Hit save. And we're out.